Hi, my name is Adam Leverage, and I'm with TopLocal.tv, and I'm really excited today. I'm here with Joe Libben with the Libben Group at Veritas Funding, and Joe is a mortgage broker in the Salt Lake City area serving all of Utah. How are you today, Joe?
I'm great, Adam. Thanks for having me on today. Appreciate your time.
Absolutely. I appreciate your time as well, and I'm really, really glad to have, honestly, such an expert panelist here with me today. So, Joe, as a mortgage broker of, 15 years, I think, is what you were
Yep.
telling me.
Yep.
What advice would you give, if somebody's looking for a mortgage broker or mortgage lender in the Salt Lake City or even the Utah area?
Well, ultimately there's still, quite a number of people in the field, and it's a little bit like the Wild West right now with some of the things that are going on with a lot of the industry consolidation and a lot of the government regulation that just hit here at the beginning of the month. But more importantly, it's finding somebody that you can trust. I mean, we all, everybody wants to do business with people that they know, like, and trust. And so, I recommend being referred into somebody as the best way to do it. To ask family, friends, coworkers, who that they've worked with in the past and who they like. Hey guys. But at this point, you've got to, if you don't have that, one of the things that I do is I do look for reviews. I'm going to be heading to Seattle here next week, and I need to get some help on some stuff, and so I just go to Google and I look at reviews. I like to read reviews, see who's got reviews out there. Obviously, other people's opinions, we seem to value and like to read about. So I think Google is a great place to start, as is Zillow, because Zillow's obviously pretty heavy in my neck of the woods, in the real estate and financing field. So that's kind of where I like to start.
Okay, and so aside from looking into a mortgage broker's reputation, what else would you recommend that somebody evaluate when they're looking for a mortgage broker?
Well, obviously you want to work with somebody who's got a ton of experience, that's been doing this for a while. I mean, the last thing you want to do, especially if you're buying your first home or moving up, buying another home, is somebody that's doing a little on-the-job training, on your expense. And so, having somebody that's got that experience. Also, it's very important right now that somebody is aligned correctly, where they're affiliated with the right company. My company, for example, Veritas, we're direct with Fannie Mae. We have our own money, and we don't have the overlays or the fees or anything that other folks have, and that's a big deal right now. That allows us to get things done with just 2 to 3 weeks without any of the drama, and that's kind of a big deal too. So you want to look at the company, both the individual loan officer that you're dealing with, but also the company that they're with, their reputation in the marketplace, and how they're able to do. Our company does more purchases than anybody in the state of Utah. All the Ivory homes here in Utah, Bill Perry homes, they all flow through us as well. And then the branch footprint too. You want to look for people that have multiple locations, because obviously they have a multiple presence, and the stability that kind of comes with that is also a big deal, Adam.
Okay. So if somebody's looking for a mortgage broker in the Salt Lake City area, then it sounds like what you're saying is an ounce of prevention is really worth a pound of cure. I mean, do your homework. Yeah,
you got to do your homework, and then most importantly too, when you are talking to a loan officer, a good one, is going to take the time up front to really ask you a lot of questions, listen, and then ask you for your homework. Things like your W-2s, pay stubs, bank statements, tax returns. If you want to work, well, really what you want to do is you want to work with someone that's going to ask for this stuff up front, work as a team. Generally, you get that stuff into them, and then what they'll do for you is they'll get you approved in advance, T's crossed and I's dotted. That's probably 80% of it. If you do that up front, that'll eliminate a lot of challenges on the back end. Oftentimes, I'm still surprised at how many people will put the cart in front of the horse, whereby they'll go write an offer on a place and not even know if they're approved to be able to own that place, and hope. And hope's not really a good strategy. So to anybody out there, any of your viewers listening, I'd really strongly encourage you to get approved in advance with someone that's going to take the time to get all that stuff from you up front and approve you for X amount of money and then turn you loose to go look at houses. And that's the fun, sexy part. I mean, really, Adam, what I do here in the office is kind of the boring part, but having that done in advance really will make things much easier going forward.
Sure, sure. So what I guess along those lines then, what if I'm in the market for a mortgage, what type of customer experience should what should I expect? I mean,
Hey, hold on my calls. I'm in the middle of a thing right now. What you should expect? Well, again, I think it's a lot of people, they'll call around, they'll ask what the rates are, that kind of thing. I don't think you got to understand that rates move within a certain range, and all lenders, we have access more or less to the same amount of money. It is become somewhat of a commodity. There's no secret there. So I think specifically for somebody out there that's looking to own a home, obviously nobody ever wants to own a mortgage. They want to own a home, but you need the money to do it. And so, as an enabler that I am, I want to make that process go as smoothly and seamlessly for all the folks that I work with. And so what that means specifically is being a good listener, asking good questions, having the experience and the knowledge to help people get where they want to go. And more importantly, like I said, for a consumer, to be in a position to where you got to offer that up. You're gonna when somebody like myself says, hey, I need A, B, C, D, and E, pay stubs, W-2s, that kind of thing. You get that into me, and what I'll do for you is get you approved. So there's no surprises, and things go well and seamlessly. And it's a big deal right now. A lot of the folks out there in the marketplace that I've seen will still just get a little bit of information in advance and not ask for any of that homework out, and they won't ask to see pay stubs, W-2s, and things like that, and say, oh yeah, you're approved, Mr. Customer, it's fine. And then somebody goes out, finds a home, and then it turns out there are issues, especially with one's taxes. There can be sometimes nasty little surprises. Your tax preparer's job is to make sure that you don't pay a lot of taxes. That's what our incentive is to mitigate the liability there, but that sometimes can come back and hurt a home buyer, and they're not aware how that works. And so vitally important that you work with somebody that gets that information from you up front, that asks you for that up front, that's not lazy about it, that does a lot of work for you as a consumer in advance to mitigate any problems you may have on the back end. You may not have any, but certainly doing that work up front, it is that ounce of prevention does prevent a pound of pain, and I've seen it when it's not done correctly, and it's a bit of a heartbreaker, honestly.
Absolutely. Now, obviously we're interviewing you today in part because you're a reputational leader in the marketplace. But Joe, if somebody wanted to get in touch with you or look into possibly doing a mortgage through you, what would be the best way for someone to reach you? And tell me a little bit about the process then that you would take them through.
Sure. Yeah. I'm a little bit old school. I've been doing this for a while, and so I have a website, and you can go on there and apply electronically and all that good stuff, like anybody else. But I'm all about that staples, that easy button. We've all seen that red easy button. And what I found to be is a lot of people in my line of work, they'll want to have people come in and see them. They'll make a client, Adam, come to them and sit them down and somehow think, geez, if I've got him here face to face, I'll get them, and I don't subscribe to that at all. I'm all about making it easy for people to do business with me. So what I found is with everybody's crazy schedules these days is really to do stuff over the phone initially. I like to have that initial phone call and then take the information over the phone and then ask you or a client for those items that I'm going to need, the homework. Have them send that in. Either they can, a lot of folks, happy to scan an email or what have you, or I have people swing by my office and drop it in or whatever. But get that to me up front so that I can get everything done ahead of time. And then if you do choose, and certainly would love to have somebody come by my office when they can, that work's done, and we can sit down together and kind of talk more about the types of houses and the fun stuff that you're looking at, But I think the bottom line to answer your question is you got to make it easy for people. And in today's crazy, hectic schedules, we all have it. I try to make it easy, and generally telephone seems to be, if we can carve out 10-15 minutes just like this interview today, that's really all we need to to get things started and get things rolling.
Excellent. Well, Joe, I really appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to to chat with me and educate me and certainly others out there who will ultimately watch this. So,
Right.
is there anything else that you'd like to add before we go?
Yeah, well, I think the only other thing is that two things to be acutely aware of, at least here in the Salt Lake City market. The cost of money is going up. Things are going to get a little bit more expensive this year. I mean, not a lot, but right now, the first number on a 30-year fix is still in the fours, and doesn't matter what it is after that. I mean, as far as 4.x, that's ridiculously cheap money. Any consumer right now should jump on that, quite honestly. So the cost of money is going up, and then also on the houses. I mean, we've bottomed out here, and we bottomed out last year. Things are going to go back up. Things right now are still relatively very affordable. So when the price of money and the price of houses is still kind of where you want it to be, but the point is both of them are going up. So certainly would love to help you, but if I don't help you, I mean, either way, waiting will not help right now. If you're a consumer that's looking to own a place, either buy your first home or move up to your next home, jump on it now. I mean, now's the time to do it, because waiting will just cost you more money, both in terms of the cost of money and what I do, but then also the price of homes. And so I don't want to be a broken record on that, but I know that to be true. And so anybody right now, time is of the essence. And if you're in a position, man, jump on it now, Adam. Seriously.
Excellent, excellent. Well, that's a really, really good point. I mean, there certainly is a cost of waiting. So anyway, Joe, I first of all thank you again for sharing your knowledge and your expertise with all of us. I've been here with Joe Libben from the Libben Group at Veritas Funding. I'm Adam Leverage with Top Local TV, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.
Thanks.